Welcome everyone. Today we are going to be talking about family t-shirts. So it doesn't have to just stop at family t-shirts. You can also make some really cute canvas bags. So this is the particular design that we're going to be working with today. And you can either do it in one color, you can do it in a couple colors if you want to try out layering for maybe the first time or something like that. We'll go through all the steps to put this onto a t-shirt. And then in terms of making t-shirts for family t-shirts, you definitely want to find out everybody's sizes and you can adjust the design if you'd like to make it larger or smaller. Even if you have a little baby onesie, you can make it even smaller in order to fit a nice little label. I just have a couple of funny stories about family t-shirts. So I'm the youngest of 5 kids. So when I was growing up in Cincinnati, my mom used to always dress all 5 of us in the same like t-shirt or same color. And it wasn't like we were all wearing Bengals t-shirts because we were going to the Bengals games. We might have been going to the zoo, but it was a quick way for her to find all 5 of her kids real fast and just grab us. So it was actually a very clever way to keep us organized. Smurfs were very popular when I was younger. So we all had blue Smurf shirts so that she could just grab us real quick and find all of us. But the family t-shirt I think is fun. My last name is Faye. And so a couple years ago, my siblings and I, all 5 of us, went on a siblings trip and we called it our Faycation. And so my sister made us some t-shirts. Now, she had never made t-shirts before, and so I want to show you kind of the evolution of the Faycation t-shirt or kind of the family t-shirts that we're talking about today. So this was her very first one. And as you can tell, she used iron-on letters. Some of the letters have already fallen off. The F for vacation has fallen off, and then the A, and some of the letters are backwards. And so all 5 of us wore these t-shirts in Florida. We were on a trip together. We went to a grocery store, all 5 of us wearing these. All the letters were a little bit wonky. Nothing was quite spelled right, but we are so proud of them. We don't care. We still wear them because they're fun and it just makes us laugh and it reminds us of that really great trip that we all took together. So the iron-on letters, are great for a first attempt or great for something that you're not going to wear very often. You can be more precise with them. You can definitely spell things out. She also had to do a lot of math in order to figure out how many sets of the letters she needed in order to have enough letters to be able to do it all. So after that, she finally got her own Cricut. And so then she upped her game. The next time we went on a vacation, they came to Texas. They're in Ohio now, and they came to Texas to visit me. And we all went down to Galveston. And so our Galveston t-shirts got a little bit better where we had our vacation logo. And this time she had a little design in the corner with a little Texas. And so it got better. This one still fits really nicely and the letters are all still in place. So she definitely got better each time she did it. She upgraded from the Cricut just ironing on with a hand iron to getting the press that we're going to be using in class today. So you just keep getting better and better and better each time that you try this. And really at the end of the day, I just want you to know that whatever you're doing, it's really nice of you that you're even making anyone t-shirts. So if I think you just play along, everybody wears them, you have a really good time together, and it's a really good memory, really good photos, really good things for you to carry into the future. So what we're going to do together today is this really cute design. So we have the design that we're going to drop the link for. And like I said, you can do it in one color or you can do the 3 layers of color. So with this one, I have like some white mountains in the background. I have my orange kind of traveling road trip kind of situation. And then I have the digits. You don't have to put the year if you want it to kind of live a lot longer, or if you want to commemorate the year and make sure that you have that so that you don't forget when that happened. I think that that's a good idea too. So I'll definitely post those. I have a couple of cute pictures of the family wearing the family t-shirts that I'll post on my own Instagram, which is for M Coleman after this class. And you can check those out. And I'd love to see if you have any family reunions, girls trips, or any kind of thing like that where you all have your own matching t-shirts. I'd love to see those. So share those at Learn with Michaels and let us see your big group photos with all these cute t-shirts. So the design link is in there and I'm about to share my screen and go through the Cricut design software. So the design software, when you click on the link, let me show you what it's going to look like. And we'll do some of these cuts together so that you know what you're getting yourself into. So when you first open the link, you're going to see my friend Anna, who was originally making this design. And you can decide if you want to edit a copy or if you want to make it. So if you edit a copy, if you're making family t-shirts and you care about the different sizes, you can change to larger logos, smaller logos. You can make these different sizes. You can take off the numbers. You can do lots of different things in the editing. You might have seen that big red banner that came across the top, and that's because I might not necessarily have the same fonts as someone else. So if I get some sort of design from someone else, I might not have those fonts located on my drive. And that's okay because it did go ahead and turn those into Arial, which is still a really nice font for us to use. And in this design, you're going to see two different things. You're going to see the one color version. And if I move this arrow over to the side, you're going to see the three color version. So the three color version, you don't have to use exactly the same colors as what I'm using, but I'm going to be using some Make Market heat transfer vinyl, HTV, and I'm going to use white, I'm going to use orange, and I'm going to use this teal to go on a yellow t-shirt today to match my yellow bag. But you can adjust these with whatever colors you want. And the colors in the design do not have to match the colors that you're actually putting in. So don't worry about trying to fix those. Now, because I don't want this solid one or I don't need it, you can go over here to the right, and where you see all these different things, you can turn them on and off. So notice how that band just disappeared. I touched the eyeball and I made it not visible because I don't need to cut that one. I only need to cut this other one. And now if you want to change something up to like the size, you can kind of click on this and change the size in that way as well. So if you're making it on a very small onesie, like I said, if you have a little baby joining you, you might want to make it a lot smaller, or if you have a larger t-shirt size that you think it would look nicer on, then you can go ahead and stretch that out that way too. So when you're ready, you're going to hit your make, and I already have this saved, or I did, but you're welcome to save it too, and you can reuse this for all of the different t-shirts. And now we see I'm using today a Cricut Explore 2. So I have the mats here because I don't have the Cricut Maker. A Maker, you don't need a mat if you don't want to use a mat, if you're going to use smart vinyl. But I have these mats. One of the most important things you need to know with doing any kind of iron-on is this mirror button. And this mirror button is going to be your demise. If you forget, you're going to get some vacation letters that are all backwards. But I just clicked the mirror, and you can tell that if you watch the screen, it changes the image so that I make sure that it's right side up when I'm ironing it down. And this mat is white because that's what I'm going to cut with the white. If I click on this mat, I'm going to see the little bus or the road trip symbol, and I can mirror that one, and I'm going to cut that one on orange. And I'm going to cut this last one with the date. I'm going to mirror it. So see how the numbers just switched, and I'm going to cut that one on teal. So I'm going to go through these cuts, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment while I show you me kind of prepping this. So the first one that I'm going to do is going to be the white portion. And Felicia, if you don't mind going to my other camera, I'm going to go ahead and take some of my white heat transfer vinyl. And there is a shiny side to your vinyl, and there's a side that's a little bit more dull. When you're doing heat transfer vinyl, the shiny side needs to be facing the sticky part of your mat. So the shiny side goes down, and the more dulled matted side is going to stay up. And I'm going to push this down onto my mat, and I'm going to use my scraper tool. And these are a really nice tool set from Make Market that just has a weeder, it has some scissors, it has a scraper tool, tweezers, and a scraper. So it's a really nice starter pack from Make Market. And I'm going to just spread this on and make sure that it's okay. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to go ahead and put it into my Cricut machine. And you slide it into your Cricut machine. There's two little clips, and you slide your mat in, and I'll show you that in a moment. And then I can click on one of the flashing buttons if you have a flashing button that says for you to load it. So now I'm going to go back to sharing my screen, and I'm going to show you where we're at now. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these white mountains. I have mirrored it. I have a 12 by 12 inch mat in there, and I can go ahead and hit continue. Now, because I have an Explore 2, which is a little bit of an older model, but still works very, very well, I have a dial on my machine. And so on my machine, I have put that I want it to cut iron on. So at this point, if you have a maker, you're going to see a screen where it talks about what material are you using. So then you would find the heat transfer vinyl and you would click on that. So it says, a good reminder, make sure that you have your mirror turned on, which I do. It's mirrored on. And then it says that I can go ahead and click the Cricut button that's flashing, and I am able to start cutting. So now I'm going to show you, if you don't mind switching again back to my other camera. Here's my machine right now. Thank you, Felicia. And it's cutting out the white and it's cutting out the mirror version because we're going to be transferring it onto the shirt. So once you have that done, we're going to be doing something called weeding. And weeding involves these different tools in order to pick up the excess vinyl so that you don't have pieces you don't want on your shirt. Now, while this is going, you can also start prepping for the other 2 layers that we're going to do. Remember, we're going to cut out the car in like an orange vinyl, and we're going to cut out the date in like a turquoise or a teal vinyl. So I can use little scraps because what I'm doing doesn't usually take, the design itself is only a couple inches big. So something like this for my orange car is going to work really nicely. And this is way too much, but it's perfect for cutting out the date. So I'm going to line those mats up next. And if I had a second mat or a third mat, I can go ahead and set those up. But this one's already done. So my first step is already done, and I'm going to go ahead and hit this button to release that mat. And I'm going to pull this heat transfer vinyl up. And now I'm going to do my next layer. And my next layer is going to be the orange car. So remember that you're doing the shiny side of your vinyl down. So I'm going to, this particular orange vinyl has one side that's white and one side, but it is still the heat transfer vinyl. So don't worry about that part. Some of the darker colors have a darker background. It doesn't have a white background. So I'm going to put the shiny side down, and I am going to place that onto my mat. And then I'm going to go ahead and load this into my machine, and I'm going to go back and show you again on Design Space that what we're doing next. So here in Design Space, we are now on the second mat. So notice how this white box has moved to around mat number 2. We're doing this on an orange. We have mirrored, so everything's ready to go. I have a blinking button on my Cricut that says that it's ready for me to go ahead and print. So I will go ahead and click that button on my machine, and you'll see that this orange bus is about to start going. So after that, then we have the little bit of teal, and you can cut this down now or you can cut it down later. I love to have like a nice paper cutter somewhere nearby when I'm using the Cricut so that I can have some nice straight lines. It's not necessary because we're going to pull it up, but I just like to have it that way. So I'm probably only going to cut about 3 inches, which is more than enough of this teal heat transfer vinyl. And then when this mat over here is finished, I'm going to take the orange out and I'm going to put the teal in with the shiny side down. And then I'm going to be able to keep going with that in order to have my third and final layer. Then we're going to put them all together. So while this is working, you might want to go to your heat press. So I have a heat press and I have a little mat for me to hold on, for me to heat something up on, or if you have an ironing board or something like that, you can use that as well. So I'm heating up my heat press to 315 degrees. And if you're not sure how high to heat it, whatever kind of vinyl you're using, it will tell you on the description on the box how high the heat should be. Also, Cricut has a really fun, easy, interactive tool where you can put in what material you're using, what material you're putting it onto, and it will tell you exactly how high to set the heat on your auto press, and you'll be ready for that. So here's my orange, putting that to the side. And then here's my last bit of teal. Shiny side is going down, and I'm going to place this into my machine. And I don't need to show you design space again, but it's moved down to the teal mat, which is the third mat. And it already has a blinking light, so it's ready to go. And I'm going to go ahead and make that cut as well. So I've been gathering these different pieces, and I have the car. It's going to be kind of hard to see in this light, but we will find that and we will weed that out. And I have the mountain scene, and then I have this date. So I'm going to take the mountain scene and I'm going to cut this down while I'm waiting. So I'm finding my paper cutter again, and I'm finding the edge of the design. And I'm going to go ahead and trim this down.
And while you're doing that, I just want to make a quick note. Since you mentioned about using a ironing board,
Press.
if you choose
Oh,
to use an iron, know that when you heat it up, make sure you do not have any water in your iron. So make sure that it is dry with no water.
perfect. Thank you, Felicia. Okay, here is my last and final piece. And now I'm ready to move on to the process of weighting. So my heat source is heating up. So either your iron or your press, go ahead and start that heating up so that you're ready to go as soon as you're done weeding. I'm going to put this to the side, and I'm going to focus on each one of these pieces. Now here's the first piece, and it has the mountain scene. So you're taking away everything that's not the mountain. So I'm going in kind of a blank space, and I'm just kind of piercing some of this blank space over here and finding a way to peel this up and away from the backing paper. And you're going to start to see that what has happened is that design is staying on the backing paper. And what's staying on the backing paper is going to be backwards for now because we've mirrored it. And the dull side that we were leaving when we were putting it into the machine is the side that actually has the material that transfers the heat into that adhesive that's going to keep it on your shirt. So I'm just peeling back all the rest of the design that I don't want on. Now I've trimmed this design down, but you don't want any extra remaining pieces. So cut this out before you start weeding so that you don't have any remaining pieces. In that vacation t-shirt I showed you before, remember this was just a second attempt. She got even better, believe me. But in this one, you'll see there's a little bit right here. And what happened was she had made her design, but she left a little piece of white scrap, and it did go ahead and attach to the shirt. So you want to make sure that you get any piece that you do not want on your shirt needs to be off of this carrier sheet so that it doesn't show up. And I can put the mountains to the side. So I see somebody says, my designs do not stay when I weed. I've tried sharpening my cutting tool, but no luck. Any tips? Yes. So you might have seen when I was in Cricut Design Space that there is something where it talks about default settings in terms of the cutting tool. And so with heat transfer vinyl, it is a lot of times hard to go all the way through the material because the material is thicker. So what I recommend is using a heavier pressure, and that heavier pressure is definitely going to cut deeper into the heat transfer vinyl, and it will be easier for you to find your pattern. So here's my orange, and I have my car here. I'm going to take the little scissors and I'm going to trim this design a little closer.
And Megan, can I give another tip?
Of course, Felicia.
Another great tip would be before you take it off of your cutting machine, do a test cut to make sure that you have the correct pressure that you need, so that before you actually cut out your entire design, by doing a test cut, you can do that, see how well it may have cut through, And if it did not cut through all the way, then you could change your settings. And then at that point, once it peels up easily and your design stays, then at that point, go ahead and cut out your entire design before messing up any more of your vinyl.
Yes. And we do have nice scraps. So exactly what Felicia said, do a little test cut and make sure that it's actually coming through. Now, sometimes it does go all the way through, but it's just really hard to see. So of course, Cricut has a solution for that. There's a light box that you can light it up from underneath so that you can see those lines a lot better when you're weeding. So if your eyes are a little struggling to find all the lines, that's another idea, is to light it up from underneath so that you can see them. But you probably see what I'm doing so far with this. And now I'm going to go in and take out some of these details, like the window and the wheel, and really give us this cute little van. I'm curious in the chat how many of you like road trips and how many of you hate road trips, because a lot of times it's one or the other and you feel really strongly about it. I personally love road trips, but it's got to be with the right people. You got to have the right music, the right road snacks. If you have the wrong people and the wrong music, that's a terrible road trip. So let me know in the chat if you're into road trips. Just depends. I agree. And I have done some crazy road trips with one of my friends. We drove from Cincinnati to Dallas, Texas, which is a good 2 days drive, about 14 hours. And then we drove from Dallas, Texas to Colorado. So we really did a triangle of the United States and saw a lot of things. But luckily we had good snacks, good things to talk about, and we really enjoyed ourselves. It would have been better if we had t-shirts, but I didn't know how to make them yet. So I'm peeling up these little detailed pieces to really add some pizzazz to our little Winnebago. I think this one might have some surfing equipment up here on the top. That might be what's going on up there. So it might be a beach van. But I'm just taking my time to get all of these different details and removing anything that I do not want on my t-shirt. So if you don't want to remove all of this detail, if you just want the outline of your car, you can do that too. But I'm going to double check. I think I have gotten all of my little pieces and not under the heat dome. Oh my gosh, yes. An oppressive road trip was happening, and I hear you on that one. Leaving Florida, I agree. Florida, California, Texas, you can be driving in those states what seems like forever and not make it out of the state, which is crazy. You can drive so far in Texas and still be in Texas. I get that too. And you do not want it to be too hot. All right, we got 2 layers. And you can picture that we are eventually going to kind of layer these one on top of the other. This is the finished side, this glossy side. So you can kind of get an idea of what's about to happen. We're going to put these 1, 2, 3 on the shirt. And so now I'm on my last one where it's the date 2024. And you don't have to include the date if you don't want to. And the one that I'm making is kind of representing like road trip. But again, you can use Design Space or you can purchase different designs from different people. And you can make a family shirt that actually has a family name by editing it, or by having someone design it special for you. And there's lots of tools in Design Space that you can take something and kind of edit the text in order to make it personalized with your family name. So lots of options, but here's just one cute little scene that you can get started with and practice.
Hey, Megan, I had
Yeah.
another tip. Just know that when you are weeding and you're trying to verify if you have all your pieces, sometimes it's always good to look back at your design, and see where you may have missed a piece.
I love that. I love that. That's a great idea. Okay. All right. Now, making sure that my press is still warm. because sometimes it does automatically turn itself off if you've left it on too long unattended, which is a good safety feature to have. But we are just about ready, so I'm going to get out my pad. And what I'm going to do, I told you before that I looked this up, and with heat transfer vinyl on a 100% cotton t-shirt that I'm going to be using today, we want to heat this press to 315 degrees, and we're going to use 30 seconds. But before we even do the 30 seconds, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of give the t-shirt a once over and kind of press the area, especially if this is a brand new t-shirt that you haven't washed at all or you haven't done anything to. I just got this out, so it still has some wrinkles in it. And you definitely want to take special care of the place where you're actually going to put your design. So with my auto press or with my Easypress, it's easy for me to literally not have to do much. I don't have to move it. I can just kind of let it go and let it heat. And I'm just doing a shorter amount of time, not the full 30 seconds, just to kind of give me a nice, clean, flat surface and making sure that I have a good place to work on. So can you go over what each tool is useful for? Yes. Ooh, yeah. So tweezers can be really good when it comes to, sometimes when you're weeding, you might have something that kind of like gets into the sticky part over here and you can't quite get it. So you might be able to actually grab it with the tweezer and pull it off of your design. So the tweezers are really helpful for that. The tweezers can also be helpful for kind of peeling off the side and getting the one layer separate from the other layer. The scraping tool is good for clearing off your mat. So if you have a sticky surface that's on your mat, you can use the scraper tool to kind of scrape those pieces off of your mat. I also sometimes use this scraper tool as the bigger scraper, like this one, when I'm using the transfer paper and doing permanent vinyl and things like that. And then the tool that you're going to always use the most often is going to be this weeding tool. And the point of a good weeding tool should be sharp, and it should be able to dig into, like just poke through some of that vinyl and start to pull it up so that you can pull kind of the rest of it off with your fingers. And then it's always handy to have a nice pair of scissors to be able to cut down and trim down that vinyl so that you're not accidentally ironing on pieces you don't want to be ironing on. Okay, we are ready to start. So I'm going to heat this just for another 5 seconds. On my press, you'll see the heat, you'll see how many seconds. When I hit my little Cricut button, it starts a countdown. You might not be able to see that on the camera, but I just used 5 of the 30 seconds in order to give me a little bit of warmth on the shirt itself. And now I'm ready to go ahead and line up my design. So there are also plenty of tools on the market that you can pick to be very precise and very exact about where you want to place things or how you want to place things. Or if you don't feel like you're good at centering things, there are lots of tools that can help you to do that too. But with this one, I am going to do a really good eyeball. And I'm going to look at the center of my shirt. And another helpful tip is if I take this design and fold the design so that the end of the design matches the end of the design, and just kind of loosely bend this carrier paper right here, that's kind of marked the center. So I know where to aim my center, and you're going to want to place it here. Now, depending on what your design is, of course, you need to be careful for placement, especially in women's t-shirts and things like that. Just be sensitive and be sensible when you're doing that. So this is the sticky side is down, and this is the correct side now, and that's the whole reason why we mirrored this. So now I am going to use the press and let it do its job. So I'm hitting this button. It's doing a 30-second countdown, and it does say that you should use a good amount of pressure. So I can do a little bit of pressing with this, but the machine itself is already pretty heavy. So just a little bit of added pressure to really let that heat. I'm spending 30 seconds. We're down to a countdown of 10, 9, and then I'm going to release this. Let the mountains cool a little bit before I pull carrier piece back up. So this has been 30 seconds. I'm not going to peel it immediately. I'm going to let this cool for just a little bit. And then I'm going to repeat this process again. And I'm going to put the bust down and I'm going to put the number down. And then I'm going to have my whole design in one piece. So this is great. I think you're asking really good questions in the chat too. So let me know if there's something else that I might be able to help you with. I'm still relatively new with the Cricut machine, but I'm learning more and more every day of what all I can do and just having a lot of fun with a lot of different kinds of designs. So letting this cool. And again, on the materials themselves, it will tell you if you should remove the carrier sheet while it's warm, or if you should let it cool down. It does tell you those kind of directions on the materials that you are using. So this has not fully cooled, but I'm just reading this white right here. And it does say to remove the carrier sheet from the design while warm, not while hot, but while warm. So I'm letting it cool just a little bit more, and then I'm going to get ready for a grand reveal. I think I want this piece right here to cool just a little bit more.
Hey, Megan,
Yeah,
by any chance, do you know how to layer using an iPad?
layer using an iPad. Give me another hint.
So if you're designing on an iPad instead of a laptop or a computer, do you know how, or is it the same steps that you would use? Um,
I think so. So I think if I am understanding the question correctly, then yeah, if you're designing something on an iPad, you can kind of do the whole design as one piece. Or if you do block it into these different pieces, then when you take it into something like Design Space, you can have those 3 different sections that you're printing that you can then do one at a time when you're doing. So the reason why I have to do one at a time is because I don't have sublimation or anything like that. So I can't change colors if I'm just ironing down one piece. So it's doing all the white, then doing all the orange, then doing all the teal. So it still is like a 3-part application process. So I see another question that says, when making a shirt for a woman, where's the best spot to place your design? So I do think that it's better to go higher than to go center. So if you're doing something with a woman's shirt, just make sure that it's closer to the neckline rather than further down, because that might just look weird. Also, if it's a word, try not to put the word directly across the bust line unless that's the look you're going for. And if that's the look you're going for, you know what? That is okay too. So I am ready for the next piece. In this next piece, when I put this down, I'm going to put sticky side facing the t-shirt, and I'm going to line up the wheels so that they're kind of on that little road. And I'm going to have these white lines match up with the bottom of this car. And then here is another important step for this. So if I were to put my iron down or anything right here, then I would accidentally get some of this vinyl on my iron, which would not be good. So if you're doing layers like this, you need to protect the layers you already have down, either by taking the carrier sheet that you've already used and kind of placing it over the whole entire thing. Or if you have something like parchment paper, you can also use that. So here we go. We're ready for our step 2. We're going to do 30 seconds.
and
Oh, okay.
I have a couple of more tips as well.
Yes, please.
The rule of thumb as far as shirts go, typically, depending upon the size, is 3 meters. I'm sorry, 3 inches from the collar line.
Mhm.
However, if a woman's shirt has a V-neck, or if you have the curve, then definitely what Megan was saying about paying attention, you want to move it a little bit closer to that area just so that it won't be too far down.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, with kids, it's about 2 inches, and if there's anything that is maybe 2X and larger, approximately 4 inches from the
That,
collar line.
that's great information, Felicia. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, and I think the question that we were asking before about the iPad that I wasn't understanding correctly, I thought you were talking about actually creating a design on an iPad, but people were talking about using design space on your iPad. So then that question got answered in the chat. And just for those of you who are watching this video later, it is the same steps on the Cricut app as what I just showed you on the desktop. It's in the lower left-hand corner. So when you hit make it, it's going to show up a little bit different, but it will still show all the different mats the way that I showed you on the screen. So your screen is going to look a little different than mine because if you're using it on the app does kind of line things up a little differently than what I showed you on my desktop. So thank you for making that clarification and helping out these live classes. Everybody in here knows different things, so that's really helpful. And then I hear something saying, or I see something in the chat saying, how do you create the different colored mats in design space? No problem. I can go back and show you that in a little bit. You can specifically pick your color when you're doing a design. And again, even if I had an orange mat and I put blue in, my design's going to be blue. So they're just kind of suggestions if you're kind of trying to see what it's going to look like. So I'm peeling away the big carrier that was protecting my iron or my press. And now I'm peeling back. I think I might need to wait a little bit. Because I had that extra carrier, I think it needs a little bit more heat. I'm gonna use my parchment paper and I'm just gonna touch that up a little bit.
And I'm sorry to keep jumping in.
No, Felicia, please. Felicia makes plenty of things, so she is just as knowledgeable for sure. Go for
So anytime when you're layering, sometimes it's also good to cut that next image closer to the design so that when you are pressing, you won't get those extra press lines into
it.
your first image.
That's a
So
great tip. Yeah, for sure.
so just like, yeah, around the bus,
Yep.
if you cut a little bit closer around the bus, then the other lines from the carrier sheet won't press or make additional lines into your
Those
mountains.
indentations. Yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you so much, Felicia. So I am going to take your advice and I'm going to cut this date down a little bit closer too while I'm waiting for the sheet to cool just a bit. And then I'm ready for the final layer. Love it. So cute. Love it. Okay, final layer, sticky side down. And I'm going to line it up. I am going to do the trick where I take this piece and fold it in half to find a good middle of the 2024 and just lightly press it right here to find that middle. And then I'm going to line that up between the tires and decide how far down I want to place it. And this already has this carrier sheet and I want to protect the top. Make sure I don't do any damage to that while I'm heating this part up. I'm going to do my 30 seconds. And we're almost done. So what other material besides cotton are compatible? Great question. You can use felt, you can use linen, you can use lots of different things, but each of the different materials that you're putting something onto are going to require different amounts of heat. So it is important for you to check out that heat press suggestions on what the heat is, especially if you're not buying the materials like that comes with that information in it. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna let this cool for a minute before I peel that back. And I don't know, Felicia, do you have any suggestions about whether or not the t-shirt, have you ever seen it work better or worse when it's been washed first?
I totally agree that you should work with a brand new shirt.
Yeah.
That would be the best thing because at that point you're not having to worry about if you're using any type of dryer sheets, if it because dryer sheets tend to have things that will
Bubbles. Yeah,
prevent it from sticking and so forth. So
true.
definitely I would say a brand new shirt would be best rule of thumb. And also really quick, since I have the mic open, another good tip for you is that fold a shirt in half so that it can create a middle line for you.
Mhm.
And just kind of iron it down for a few seconds so that it will create a crease. so that when you are doing your image, it also assists with help finding the middle of
I
the
love
shirt.
that. Yeah, Felicia, I'll go ahead and kind of show that what you just said. I think that's a great idea. So here's a brand new shirt. And this is actually a smaller size shirt for if you had a child in the same family that wants the same design. So as Felicia was saying, that you can take the shirt and you can fold it in half to find the center. And then once you have found the center, you can hit it with that heat just a little bit to kind of show that line up. And obviously it's a line that's going to disappear when I'm going with my design. I'm going to fold it so that the shirt side I'm using is on the outside. And then if I hit this a little bit with the heat, that's going to find the center. And then that folding the carrier sheet over the way that I showed you before too will help you find the center of your carrier sheet. So this is what she's saying. Look, it has this really nice center mark right now. And you can just go ahead and line that up the way you want to. And you're going to be able to find the center and put your design down. So I am ready for my last reveal on our shirt we've been making together with peeling back the carrier for the 2024. There we go. And we have a very adorable road trip family t-shirt. You could also go ahead and add in a family name here, or maybe instead of the 2024, you can say the Faye family road trip or girls trip 2024, or whatever the occasion might be. I think that would be awesome too. So this is our final design. And I do want to show you one more option where on the bag that I was showing you at the beginning. So I used the same process and did it on a tote bag as well, which I think is a really cute matchup. So this is the same process. I used all three of those mats and had those three different colors. But then on this side, what I did was I used the first part of the design on Design Space, that's one piece. And I did one piece, and then all I did was take the 2024 and do it in a teal as well, and kind of do a little bit of an offset in order for it to make it look almost like an outline or something like that. So this is a little bit less. It's just the one piece for this whole black portion up here. And it actually was the black portion down here with the numbers too. And then I just added that one little pop-up color as well. So I do want to answer the question about Design Space. And before we wrap up, if anybody else has another question they want to ask, that would be okay with me too. So here,
And
go ahead.
well, I was gonna say, there's a couple of that came in to me directly. If you don't mind if I answer those
Sure,
really quick.
please.
There was a question asking, can you just put parchment paper on your design? You definitely can use parchment paper to be your in between your image and your heat press, or your whatever heat mechanism you're using, to be able to press that down, because that's all it is another protective measurement so that you don't burn your image or burn your shirt. About using a new, you definitely can use an older shirt. That's not a problem. It's just that I think that it would be really good to use a new shirt, because I have also used a shirt I've worn before and gone back and put an image on it. And then the last question that I did receive, I apologize. What can we use to protect the design from coming off or fading out when using water? So because this has a adhesive background, an adhesive backing, there's nothing else really you need to put on it. It will last a long time, but just know, because it is vinyl, just over time, it's possible that it may try to peel. And if it does try to peel, know that you can go back and use heat to press it back down.
Absolutely. And they come out with newer and different vinyls all the
Yes.
time. So there's also something called a stretchable vinyl, which if you're definitely going to put it on something like a t-shirt that someone's wearing tight on purpose to stretch, then you might want to use the stretchable vinyl, because it's going to move with the body shape instead of against it. And you're going to be able to keep that lasting a lot longer. So I'm in Design Space right now, and I just kind of opened up a brand new project, and I put 2 stars down here. And this was for the question that somebody asked about the different color mats. So if I take this outside star there's a cut right here or a color right here, right next to the word basic cut. And so this is where they picked the color of the mat. So if I kind of know I'm going to use a yellow vinyl and then inside I'm going to use um, like a blue or something like that, then when I go ahead and make this, it'll show up as two separate mats. It'll show up as a yellow mat and it'll show up as a blue mat. So that's the place in Design Space that you can go to change the colors, but you really, it does not matter. A lot of times my designs, I have them all in the same color. When they are the same color, I'll show you how that changes things a little bit. So when they are the same color and I go to make, you're going to see that these are on the same mat. So you can put them on the same mat at the same time when they're the same color. And then your job is just going to be to stack them if you need to stack them or put them next to each other. So by changing the color, that's telling the machine that it's two different layers or it's two different mats to prepare. And then there, of course, are other ways that Cricketers over the years have figured out how to put a little piece of vinyl here that's one color and a little piece of vinyl over here that's a different color to kind of do it all in one step. So that's the more advanced cricketing if you ever get interested in that. But for today's purposes, I have given you a really cool design. I can't wait to see anything else that you've been doing. Someone said in the chat, is Design Space an app that needs to be purchased? No, the Design Space app is absolutely free. So you can go around and you can look in the Design Space app for some of the free fonts and some of the free images. But then when you start getting a little bit more advanced and you know kind of what pictures you want to use and what fonts you want to use, and you want to be more particular about those kind of things, you might need to purchase a subscription to their program called Access. And Access gives you a huge library of fonts, a huge library of images that you can play around with and kind of create some of your own designs with. So that is it for today. It can be accessed via laptop, iPad, whatever device you want to use. What it looks like will be a little bit different than what I showed you today because I showed you the desktop version, but it all has all the same pieces working the same. So any further questions? If not, please share any family t-shirts you have or just funny pictures of y'all wearing the same shirt. I think that would be hilarious. So share them at Learn with Michaels. If you have Instagram, you can tag us or you can use our hashtag. We'd love to see what you're making. So thank you so much for coming. We had a really good time and we'll see you again soon.